what's going on, everyone? Major here. I'm the host of the Majoration Podcast, where we talk about all things inspirational, aspirational, and motivational. I wanted to take a second to do a recap on a previous panel I just spoke on yesterday. Had a lot of great speakers, a lot of great experienced actors and creators and dancers and influencers were a part of not only the audience, but as far as the panelists as well. And just hearing everyone's story, there seemed to be like a common realization, when it comes to creating this content and existing in this new bold digital world that we're living in. And it's kind of like what people felt like in Hollywood. Like, there's so many people auditioning and everyone's trying to do the exact same thing. And so even in this new digital space, it still comes down to what's going to make you uniquely different and what's going to allow you to stand out. And I believe that the common theme is trending upon what I already know. It's just giving your authentic truth and about who you are. You are the content. I heard Gary Vaynerchuk and others say, just become the content. Just turn on the camera. That's what's uniquely about you. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have all the best cameras and microphones and all the bells and whistles, because sometimes you are inspired to do it by someone who has it all put together, but you don't know the journey that it took for them to get to that point to where it's all fancy and glossy and it's something that you want to see yourself get to. But the whole point and purpose of it is to start. So I'm giving this context in the beginning because I took this conversation home and I was just talking to my wife in regards to the reason why I've created so many businesses and opportunities for myself is simple because I didn't feel like there were many individuals or groups and circles that were willing to work with me, due to the fact that I'm very ambitious, due to the fact that I've always been a leader, but I've considered myself as a student and also as a soldier in many different instances under certain umbrellas. But I think that from the perception of what I've done or even what I portray on social media, people are not as, um, there is a certain hesitation when it comes to helping me, I guess, or supporting me or collaborating with me. And what I quickly realize is that I won't have an attitude about anyone who doesn't want to work with me. I only want to be in circles and in situations where I am received, I'm welcome, and I'm championed when I'm in those circles, because those individuals know that they respect my voice and also my value that I can bring to the table. But there is this common denominator that I always talk about, which made so much sense right now, which is I want to get to, is that perspective is so key. So either you can look at that as an obstacle or you can look at that as an opportunity. And the way that I'm wired and the way that I've reprogrammed myself and cultivated this majoration mindset, the things that to other people that are obstacles, I look at it as opportunity. So when I can't make it to somebody's podcast, or they don't reply back, or they don't want me on their show, or for whatever reasons, I don't have a bigger social media platform, I'm not hot anymore, or whatever it is, right? The thing is to wish them well. Everyone has their standards and their categories on how they have an entry point for their process and who they select. That's fine, that's cool. I'm not here to break their mold. But what it forced me to do is look at it differently. So I went and created my own podcast. And now I've done over 20 something episodes. So instead of waiting around trying to get on one, two, three different, podcasts and going through the gamut of that, go and create your own. And that's just one example, because obviously it may not be for everyone, but whenever you're feeling a sense of rejection or hesitation on someone working with you, I would urge you to go and create your own opportunity. You don't necessarily have to have a seat at that particular table when you have the tools, resources, and the ability to go and build your own table. And I think that's very important. I think that that comes from that majoration mindset that I'm always talking about, either here on the show, different panels that I'm speaking with, and also among different groups that I'm speaking to when I'm traveling, having those open conversations about evolution, adapting, and just how you look at things that normal people who are not constantly self-developing themselves and self-educating themselves, and they're stuck at a certain level on how they interact and also how they respond. And that limits your ability to take accountability for your actions and also for your inaction. So when you're hanging around certain situations, trying to get in, trying to get in, trying to get in, there's one thing to be persistent. I understand that. That's a great quality to have. But it's another thing to shoot yourself in the foot when you do have the talent, when you are ready, when you are prepared. Why wait around? Go and find that tribe, go and find that group or that circle that's warm and welcoming, or go and create your own situation. Now, back to the conversation with my wife, we were just talking about having authentic conversations and why a lot of people we guess that don't receive me. And she said, "You look too successful." This is my wife told me. She said, "You look too successful." She said, "Every entrepreneur group that I've seen you go to in different seminars, everyone who's the top guys, you look like them or better." She said, "Babe, you pull up in a Porsche, or you pull up in a Benz, or you pull up in a BMW 550, and you come to your big house, got your wife, kids, the furniture, the yard, the pool inside your house. You have, so they don't think that you need an opportunity. When the reality of it is, I'm hungry as hell. I'm itching to connect. I'm itching to collaborate because I can go further with more people. I've done it for myself or by myself for the longest time, over 20 plus years. So as I continue to mature, as I continue to grow and evolve, I understand the purpose of a great relationship. I understand the purpose of a great partnership and the importance of collaborating. Truly, if you want to do some meaningful things that can be scaled on a bigger level. And I never quite saw it that way, and we just kind of went down the rabbit hole of conversation. And then we come to the point, like, what the hell do I do? Like, do I dumb myself down, or like, do I like it was hard to process it, given the fact that I consider myself a solutionist. But that kind of stumped me for a second. But also it came back to perspective. Well, if that's how they perceive me, then let me go and be that great individual that they believe that I already am. So I'm going to create that media company. I'm going to find ways to book myself on really dope stages. I'm going to go reach out to Coca-Cola and speak for 2 hours and make $60,000 with them. I'm going to go and write a book, an ebook, and then I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to sell 200,000 copies, which I did. And then I'm going to double back up for Christmas and come with the physical book, Sneakerhead Philosophy, which I did. I'm going to sell it for $100 and send half of those proceeds back to my nonprofit, which I'm doing. So it's all about perspective. So although that that view of what she say I represented, like, people just perceive me as if I don't need anything, as if I have it all together, right? But I don't. I'm like everyone else. I'm hustling, I'm building, I'm trying to connect, I'm trying to grow. But I just had to change my angle, had to change my lens. And so if on the outside looking in, someone sees me as just like the people that they see on the stages already, I need to go and create my own stage and walk out there and be that authority and share in a way that I know I can, and give people value, give people a great experience, educate people, mix it with humor and great storytelling, which I love doing. I love hearing a great story and I love telling a great story. And so I'm saying all of that to say is that sometimes you have to look at the obstacle like an opportunity. And no matter how anyone see you, especially if you have the talent, don't let people drag you along so you can get a seat at their table. Go and create your own table. You're worth it. Stay motivated.